How's it going, team? This is the Brown Man. I hope all is well. For today, I'm going to go into a very quick Ruby overview. There is somebody who keeps asking about Ruby. So, let's do it, team. No issue, buddy. I got your back. I don't really play Ruby. I did when the game started. I'm going to play a little bit on stream for you, dude. Is what it is. But Ruby is a very powerful leader, and I don't actually include her in my tier list because she is designed in a very broken way. I don't think that's quite fair, but when it comes to her, she has a shit ton of effects. So let's get into them. Lilith's Curse is pretty much when she charges her ability, you'll see that she does this hand wavy movement, and then after a set period of time of consuming souls, until she is done consuming all of her souls, or if she reaches the 70 maximum charge, she will release an AoE explosion. The AoE explosion will actually deal damage to enemies within range and heal allies within range. Not bad. Of course, your aura also scales with souls, so just keep that in mind. Soul Eater is going to be her aura. So, she regenerates health up to a certain threshold. Being a Dark One, she can't collect or use an amulet. In return, she absorbs the souls of evil units that die within her aura, improving their effects. So, as you gain souls, they'll reach towards their maximum. Okay, so you'll have 20% going to 24% at Prestige 1 for stamina regeneration, 25 going to 35% at Prestige 1, 20% maximum damage increase going to 24%, and then maximum damage reduction 20 going to 24%. So she has a shit ton of effect in her aura, which is why typically demons that can aggress early should aggress you early, and should aggress most likely the Ruby early to prevent her from gathering pink F. So it is important to, that you understand that you unlock those by investing in your aura, so you don't start off with all these buffs. After a certain amount of pink F investment, you're allowed to put 1 pink F into your aura. There's 3 tiers of aura investment for your pink F. Let's keep that in mind. Anathema, of course, is her resistance to possession. So it costs more to possess her, she takes less damage, and it costs more, we'll say, energy. And it also increases her health regeneration threshold to 50%. So she can heal herself up to 50% health for free. So it's actually not bad to actually increase her health, make her a bit tanky, because yeah, we'll see in the perk tree why. Also, if you aren't getting hit, you're fine. If you get hit, then it resets your timer to regenerate. So just keep that in mind. Quick Study is her last perk, allowing her to gain a damage stack. As you guys see in the top right, there's a gun or fist. You'll gain 1 stack of each depending on how much you use both, or use either rather. And then as you keep using a certain damage type, it will override the previous damage type. So let's say you've been only using melee, and then you start shooting stuff, you'll eventually start to gain a shooty stack that will replace a fisty stack. Okay? Okay. So typically, when it comes to leaders, you do have to have the mandatory investment in Great Influence 1. Artful Dodger is pretty interesting investment. Of course, she has extra stamina regen, right? So by decreasing the cost of the dodge and going into the regen, you should be pretty good. You can also go into cardio to further reduce costs. Along with your regen, that's pretty nice. This is an interesting tree here. So leaders typically have they go top or bottom. The reason why they go top or bottom is to increase their performance. So you're going to have top tree that goes into fast forward for those that want to really push out objectives. Having quicker cooldown for her active is pretty decent, especially against demons that spawn a shit ton of units to constantly feed you souls. Cooldown's not bad. Master of Influence increases the effects by 20%. This one isn't a flat increase. it's a 20% increase. Just keep that in mind. That it's not additive. This is multiplicative. So if you go here and it says you have 20% max damage, you add 20% to that, which would be 5. So that would be 25% maximum damage there. Alright, just want to let you guys know. Arcane Knowledge, you probably don't really need to invest all that into Arcane Knowledge if you're going this route. But there will be a 1 minimum there. 1 mandatory to get the quicker cooldown, to get the map. When the game first dropped, it was bugged that it was additive, which is fucking crazy. Just walk around with like 40% double damage buff. It was nasty. If that didn't get fixed for some reason, I'm not too sure if that's fixed. If that didn't get fixed, then yeah, that is definitely cancer. I believe it's fixed as of now. Industrial Strength is something that's quite interesting because of her ability to actually mend herself or regenerate over time. If you want to go tanky, you can, because you have Seasoned Survivor Basic and Seasoned Survivor Elite. You don't have to go Elite. You could. Most people actually just spam Basic. So if you want to, you can just go 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then you'll be pretty beefy against Basics. Of course, if you don't want to use all this just for Tougher Than Hell, then you can use just your 3 points to go to Elite, or you could just go to Deep Pockets ammo if you want, or another one in Artful Dodger. Let's say you still want to use 3 points, then you can go 1, 2, 3, and then you can go doot, 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 and then you can go into Master of Influence. You got 4 for Influence, and then of course you got 4 for Fast Forward, and then you have 2 that is a toss-up. That's completely and totally up to you. And for the most part, the extra 2 would be a great influence, just to make sure your aura skill is pretty big. That would be that if you want to go there. If you don't want to go the Fast Forward track, that's totally fine. You don't have to. And you don't even have to invest in, once again, all these. You can invest in whatever you want, but this would typically be one of the investments here. If you don't want to, that's cool. What we can do is make sure we do invest a little bit in aura, so you can actually go 2 or 3 in here. If you want to go the full 4, that's totally up to you. This is always a good perk, pretty much for the most part, to go into. Why? Because leader trees are built pretty well. So you're going to have, for Survivor and Longevity, you're going to have the Artful Dodger, 1 or 2 invest, and then you have the 2 invest here for the 15 extra ammo. That'll allow you to carry 65, for example, 65 handgun ammo, and hunters carry 70. So you're pretty close to the hunter carry, which is actually not bad. If you go that route, instead of 30 special, you go up to 15 special, so that's pretty solid. And especially on someone like Brock, that'll bring you up to 70 handgun bullets that you can carry, so it gets really ridiculous here. Of course, balance bar is always a good thing to invest in. When you balance bar things, especially those Elegos or Puppeteer elites, you really just mess them up on book. A lot of demons do play for book, and some demons, the balance bar works really well. Let's say you want to use, for example, Quick Study along with guns, then you can use something like this. You can go Stopping Power, and once again, that's what I like about the leader tree, is that unlike some other trees, it's all in one. It's like all the gun shit is here, all the melee shit is here. This makes life a lot easier for you. The last word is not bad, but of course, if you're not really dodge canceling, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, the last word might not be that good of an invest. But for the most part, for guns, the straight up tree here is a pretty solid invest. You get the 15% extra balance bar, 25% extra gun damage, and 15% from Wig Splitter. So you're going to be enjoying, because leaders don't get a gun debuff, so you're going to be doing 20% extra damage to with guns because of your aura. Once again, then 45% more damage because of hollow points, and then 60% more damage if you get that headshot. So things will be quite beautiful if you invest in guns. Melee is fine. And the thing about melee is that you can use, we'll say 7 because unfortunately this takes 3 investments to go to 15%. This takes only 2 investment to go to 15%. You see that? But then again, melee is infinite, guns aren't. Guns rely on ammo, so that is something to keep in mind. And as I said, you guys can build whatever you want here. If you really want to be anti-fear and just thick as hell for some goddamn reason, then you can go through this tree here, then go through here, and you go, you know, Ball will have an interesting time breaking through you if Ball is your fear. But, or if you're afraid of Ball, I'd say. But as I said, guys, it's totally up to you. These are just some ideas. I don't play Ruby. That's just some very basic ways of how to play her. You can't really fuck up with playing Ruby, to be honest. Unless you're just spamming your ability whenever you can, and I don't recommend doing that. I recommend waiting for you to have a certain amount of souls, because, yeah, your aura relies on the amount of souls that you have collected as well. And that be it, team. You guys be safe, stay hydrated, and of course, have a good one.